Hey guys, welcome to another Body Talks, the series where I strip down and talk openly and honestly about my being, my body, this vessel that I go through life in. These talks are always shot naked, which is fun because then I only have to focus on picking out a cute hat and not a cute outfit, which I like a lot. Today's subject is body hair, specifically leg hair, and why I do not shave my legs. It's not super important. The fact that I don't shave my legs isn't groundbreaking or brave, but it is kind of different, I think, and sometimes navigating that difference is interesting and complicated. Not really that complicated, but like a little, so I'm going to talk about it. It also took me a really long time to ultimately decide that I wasn't going to shave my legs, even though it's kind of what I wanted to do for a while. I just felt too weird and too gross and like I was breaking rules I wasn't supposed to break. So here's my leg hair story. When I was a child, my parents had a lot of au pairs to watch their children. We ended up having au pairs for 5 years of my kid life. 2 from Poland and 1 from Peru. 2 of them stayed for 2 years each. The middle au pair, the second one we ever got, was named Tola. She was from Poland. She was great. I loved Tola. And if I'm remembering correctly, we had Tola when I was in 5th or 6th grade. And that was about the time that my friend group started experimenting with shaving their legs. It was like a switch that flipped in the 6th grade overnight. One of my friends was like, I have dark leg hair and it's starting to come in, so I'm gonna shave my legs. And then all my other friends were like, we're gonna shave our legs too, because that's just what my friends did. All my friends got bras like in the same week. All my friends got their period in the same week, which is impressive because you can't control that. And I was always late to the party. I had a flat chest forever, which I'm envious of now. Wish my boobs never would have come in. It took me 1 trillion years to get my period. Also envious of that. Wish I didn't have my period now. Young people, don't be in such a rush to grow up. I mean, I get it. You feel left out. You feel behind, so I don't want to tell you how you should and shouldn't feel. But you'll probably look back and be like, it was great when I was pre-puberty. Anyway, so I'm telling you this because all my friends started shaving their legs, and even though I didn't want to shave my legs because I barely had any leg hair, also that seemed like a lot of work. Also, I didn't want to talk to my parents about it because, I don't know, anything about my body or growing up was just a weird conversation to me to have with my parents, which is sad. Now I talk about anything with my parents. So I never asked my parents how one goes about shaving their legs. No one ever taught me, and YouTube didn't exist then because this was pre-2006. So I just guessed. I figured it couldn't be that hard. You grab a razor and you just pull, right? Also didn't have a razor because I didn't have money or permission to walk to a store. I was a child. So I stole one from Tola. But Tola bought the disposable Bic razors, and I think that she had used this particular razor that I stole for a while, so it was kind of dull. But, like, I didn't know. I didn't know razors could be dull, or I don't know. I just didn't know anything. So I grabbed this razor, and I started shaving my legs, but none of the hair was coming off because it was super dull. So I pressed really hard, trigger warning, the next 15 seconds of this video will be graphic and gross, and my skin came off my leg in just one giant peel, kind of like if you were peeling a carrot, and it just like, ow. Then I got blood all over the bathtub, and I had a really gnarly scar on my leg, and I like ruined Tola's razor. So even though I tried to hide this whole ordeal and clean everything up, my parents eventually found out, and they yelled at me, and they told me that that was super stupid, and I'm way too young to start shaving my legs. But I still had to shave my legs in secret because all my friends were shaving their legs, and I couldn't be the only one. So that was my secret for a while. Mark and Janine, you couldn't control me. I shaved my legs on the down low. You probably always knew. So for a long time, shaving my legs was just associated with embarrassment and pain and shame and secrecy. But I did it for years and years and years. And I went through all of that even though I didn't really want to shave my legs. Fast forward to 2011 or 2012, I believe. I was a sophomore in college, and I was selected to be on the Youth Advisory Council for the Trevor Project. They picked like 15 youth from around the country, and they flew us all out to West Hollywood for one weekend. And at that youth summit, I met an individual named Keegan. Keegan had a huge influence on me. I won't lie, I can't remember what pronouns they were going by then. And I'm not sure what pronouns they're going by now, so I'm going to play it safe and say they. But I do remember them saying they were AFAB and didn't completely identify strictly with either of the binary genders. And they had a modest amount of leg hair, and they rocked it really well. Like, it looked good. We were going around the room and sharing a little about our gender and gender expression, and they spoke a bit about their leg hair, and they said that they loved their leg hair, and when they looked down at their legs and saw their leg hair, they felt proud. It felt good. It was one of the first times I'd ever heard an AFAB person not be ashamed of their leg hair, or have some leg hair and say, oh, I need to shave, or gotta shave this, or ew, gross, don't look at my legs, I'm prickly. The only other time I'd heard an AFAB person say this was if they were a trans guy, but Keegan wasn't a trans guy at the time. I don't know how they identify now. And it honestly just blew my mind. I truly didn't understand that that was a possibility. I thought only guys could be proud of leg hair, or not bothered by leg hair. And Keegan just exuded this confidence that was so, like, platonically attractive. I wasn't, like, attracted to them, but I was like, they look good, and their leg hair is a part of that. I also probably really identified with Keegan and their hair because they weren't strictly binary, and I, like, felt a connection to that too, so there was a lot that I connected with. The college years following the Trevor Youth Summit, I started dipping my toes into the land of not shaving my legs. I'd try to find excuses to not shave. So for example, like in the winter, I'd be like, well, it's winter, I wear jeans, it's fine. Or if I didn't shave my legs, I'd blame it on, being lazy, or that's so much work, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. But I didn't fully commit to not shaving my legs for a few reasons. One, my friends would say weird things. They weren't super mean or anything, and I know they meant well, but they would make a point of pointing out my leg hair and making me feel a little different, and they would poke teasing friend fun at me. It just made me feel, I don't know. And I was in a relationship with a person who liked women who didn't have a lot of body hair, and I wanted to make them happy. I wanted them to find me attractive. Then I started dating Grace, and Grace is so cool. She listens to everything I have to say with a totally open mind. She's never like, huh? Grace really loves me. It's so cool. I can't tell you how cool it is, guys, to find a person who really loves you for you. Because when you really love a person for that person, you genuinely do think they're beautiful no matter what. So with Grace, I felt like I could express more authentically, and I kind of stopped shaving my legs almost entirely. But I'd still shave for special occasions like fancy date night or whatever. Until one day I had the realization that no part of me was shaving for myself. No part of me was shaving because I wanted to. I don't really like the feeling of smooth legs. It feels slippery to me and weird. I know some people shave their legs and put on shorts or a skirt and say, damn, I look good. I don't. And it clicked for me that the only reason I was shaving my legs was for the outside world, to make them happy, because that was the norm. I was humoring society. I was feeling peer pressure from everyone else. Having leg hair is my intrinsic, natural desire, and I was compromising that to fit in and make everyone else feel comfortable. And that is not what I'm about. You guys know me. I think everyone should wear the clothes they feel the most themselves in. I think people should style their hair in ways that make them feel comfortable. As long as you are safe and appropriate and hygienic, fucking look however the fuck you want. And I realized I wasn't doing that. And ultimately I realized I was feeding into a bunch of bullshit. So I said, screw this, I'm done shaving my legs, because I don't want to be controlled by, the man. And this sounds so much more dramatic than the whole thing really went down. It wasn't like that big of a deal. I wasn't like, now I shan't shave my legs anymore, I'm so brave. Yeah, it wasn't like that. It was way more chill. I was like, I'm doing this for everyone else. Well, I don't like that. I think I'll stop.
Aesthetics is the philosophical study of beauty and art. Although it may appear that art implies the idea of beauty,